Welcome back to the Buzz on Biz, where we shine a light on local businesses and professionals who make a difference in our community. Today, we're diving into a topic that affects all of us, life insurance, but with a twist. We're joined by Sherry Gordon Harris, an insurance broker and Medicare advisor with Royal Purpose Shield, whose mission is to make life insurance and education personal, culturally aware, and easy to understand. From seniors like me to young families, Sherry knows that one-size-fits-all approach just doesn't work when it comes to protecting your legacy. If you've ever felt confused, intimidated, or just unsure about life insurance, this episode is for you. So, welcome, Sherry.
Thank you, Bill, and thank you for having me today.
You bet. Looking forward to it. So, to start things off, what inspired you to focus on life insurance education as part of your work in the community?
Yes, so what inspired me was having the personal experience of having to bury my father some years ago. And even though my father had healthcare insurance and life insurance, we didn't have all the information we needed to make things go smoothly. For one, we didn't know how long it would take to get the life insurance policy. We didn't know quite what we had to do to um, make that claim. I had never been responsible financially or responsible for dealing with the funeral home and setting up arrangements. So in addition to having to mourn and grieve, I had to deal with business that made it harder. So I don't wish that on anyone. And for someone to relieve their family members of that burden of having to deal with those things, let alone not having the money, it's just an act of love and kindness to take that burden off of them and not leave them with unpaid bills. And so, because it was a little bit of a difficulty and a hardship for me, I don't want that for the people in the community. And so, I choose to be an advocate and educate people on that. And I'm also in the position to help them find good coverage and prepare them for what to do and make sure their family members know what to do and that wishes are made known and documented in advance. And so it's not a one size fit all, and it's not a fact of just getting the life insurance. It's knowing what to do and how to maneuver and having help to maneuver that when the time comes. So I have a personal um, reason why I want to help people with that. I've been there. I know how hard it can be to not know what you're doing or not have the coverage or not have the support when that time comes.
I understand that, Sherry. Definitely. We've had a couple of deaths in our family. Everyone has deaths in their family. Sometimes you take responsibility for what happens afterwards, and sometimes you don't. So it's great that you're here to help educate people. So one of the things that you just said is you often say that one size fits all just doesn't work. So can you walk us through what does that mean in the context of life insurance education?
Yes, absolutely. So life insurance isn't a one size fits all. One, we may be at different phases of life. We may have different lifestyles. And in life insurance have has multiple purposes. One, life insurance is not just for the ones that die, for the ones that live. So you may have a purpose attached to that. Life insurance can be for final expenses, for burial, could be to pay final bills. It could be to finish off a mortgage so a family that's left behind can remain in the family home. It could be for income replacement. It could be a spouse that was the main income earner in the home. And if the other spouse was not an income earner, now that income is going to be missing. So life insurance could be for that, or it could be a partnership in a business. A partner in a business may want to get life insurance on their partner because that skill and talent may be missing if that partner should die. So there may have to be a talent hunt to fill that role, or to keep things going in the business. And so, because those are different purposes, there may be different dollar amounts for those things. And so, it's not just the point of getting life insurance, it's getting enough coverage. So, even for those that may already have life insurance, they may not have thought about the other reasons to have life insurance and may find out they don't have enough coverage. And so a person can get more than one life insurance policy. And then also, life insurance is a good tool to pass on wealth and keep it in your family. So there's ways of doing that. And so we have to get educated on that and know what that's about, how to do that, and then have someone that we know and we can work with and can trust to help get those things set up for us, help walk us through, and just educate us on that.
So, speaking of education, what are some of the biggest misconceptions that people have about life insurance that you try to clear up early in your conversations?
Yes, absolutely. One big misconception about life insurance is that a lot of people think that it's unaffordable or it's way too expensive. But there are ways to make room for that in your budget, especially for something so important. What I do is not just sell your life insurance policy, but I say, let's sit down, let's look at your budget. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what you can um, afford or what you can trim down to make sure that you have this very, very important piece of coverage and something that'll give you peace of mind. And we have a formula to make sure it's not something that's unaffordable because once you get it, you want to be able to maintain it and have it not be a hardship. So it's not unaffordable. It is affordable, and we can always customize a plan for you, and you can get something to get started. You can always add more later. Another thing about life insurance, some people um, think, oh, well, I'm young, I got time. You never know. We know our birth date, but we don't know our death date. So it's best to get life insurance when you're young and you're healthy and don't have a lot of health conditions. And then sometimes people think, well, I'm too old to get life insurance. There are companies that can help you get coverage even up into and through um, a good portion of your 80s. However, it's not advisable to wait to end of life to get, you know, life insurance because there could be health conditions, and then that's when it's more expensive. So it's not that health insurance is unaffordable. It's sometimes the rate is based on your age and your health condition. So just to get those out of the way. And this month, September, is Life Insurance Awareness Month. So I am educating people more on a one on one personal basis. And then there will be some educational group presentations that will be posted on my website.
Oh, good. So that's a good segue into the next one because many people, when they think about this, they feel overwhelmed or intimidated by this topic. So, how do you approach people to educate them?
Yeah, absolutely. I asked them about, you know, are their loved ones, people they know and they love and care about, um, are they having them at peace of mind? And one also, are they responsible for anyone financially if they were to die? And then who's responsible for them when they would die or pass away? And to ask them, one, have you thought about it? Is it taken care of? And even if you have a life insurance policy, who are the beneficiaries and are they responsible to carry out the wishes that you want done with this money? And have you reviewed? That's another service that I provide. When I become, your agent and help you, is to review what you already have and do annual reviews with anything that you should get with me. There may be a need to update beneficiaries. There may be a need to change some out or add some or share some. And also I can help facilitate family meetings to explain to them in the demise of this insured, this is the phone number that you should call me or call the company so you can file a claim. What you need to do to file a claim, these are the wishes that they want, these are the people to notify once your loved one passes. This is the funeral home they want to use, that type of thing, so that they know what to do. Because if you've never had to be responsible for a funeral before, sometimes you just don't know what to do and you're overcome with grief and mourning, and maybe things won't get done timely, and it could just be a hardship. But it really says love when you put a person at ease and at peace and have these things taken care of and communicate. It may not be a conversation you want to talk about, but we all got to leave here. We all got to die. But the best thing is to have someone help you and explain it and know that you got someone to go to when this time comes, because it's going to come.
Ain't that the truth, unfortunately. So Sherry, you work with a wide range of communities. How do cultural values shape the way you discuss life insurance?
Yeah. So culture is something that, is specific to different people. Different people based on their culture may want to do a funeral or a memorial service a certain way, or they may, for religious beliefs, may believe in doing it one way or the other. Those things have to be taken in consideration. They may, some people may have beliefs that they don't want to have cremation. Some people may have a belief that they don't want anybody to financially benefit from a life insurance policy. So there's different programs that we can introduce you to that will help people not conflict with their culture or their religious beliefs, that type of thing. Some people may have certain days that they want things done on. The body may have to be prefer to be handled a certain way based on their religion or their culture. They may want certain things there, but those are all things we can talk about because it's really based on preference. And we are a whole spectrum of different people. So different cultures may do things differently. And we respect that and observe that. And so we want to know those things up front. We want to make sure whoever is responsible for the services know that, and things are documented so that makes it easier on the loved ones when that time comes. So we definitely talk about cultural differences and preferences.
Wonderful. Glad to hear it. So I know you gave us a story earlier with a personal story of with life insurance. So do you have any other stories or examples in your educational outreach that would help the message land to people? Can you share one or so of to to help people to understand why it's important to get life insurance?
Yes, absolutely. Um, Not one of my personal ones, but I do know of uh, families that didn't have enough life insurance to where the family home still had a mortgage on it, and paperwork wasn't taken care of properly. It wasn't enough money in a life insurance policy to have a funeral and pay off the rest of the mortgage. So the family home went to probate court. It was in jeopardy to be lost. Someone had to take over that mortgage. Not only that, utilities were still on in that home. And so when the person that lived there was paying those and wasn't there anymore, somebody had to pay the utilities for the lights to stay on, the water, those things people don't think about. And then even when you have a funeral, you may have family members come from out of town. There may be a need to help with transportation or lodging or even meals. A lot of times in certain cultures, it's tradition to have a family meal together after the funeral. Who pays for that? It costs money, it has to be paid for. And so sometimes it takes a lot of time to get those things resolved through probate court. And that those family homes come with a lot of memories. It may have been a place for gathering for family reunions. So if it's intended to keep that family home in the family, keep the utilities on, make sure um, loved ones, whether it be grandchildren, nieces, nephews, get what was intended. Things have to be documented, and it have to be enough money to cover those things. So I kind of help educate and probe and help people think of those things that they may not necessarily think of, because if you haven't been through it, you don't know. There may have been some payments left on a car if you don't want that car to get repossessed. Is there enough life insurance? Is there enough insurance to not only have a funeral, but to take care of final expenses? And then the bill could fall on another person. It was like, I didn't know I would inherit this bill. Had I known, I'd have helped pay for some of the premiums for the life insurance to make sure. And like I said, and to help, it could be used to help set up the next generation with some wealth, because life insurance policies are not taxable. So that's something, you don't have to pay taxes on, that type of thing. But things have to be, one, you have to have it, because the thing they say about insurance is it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. And then you need enough of it. So even if you already have insurance, you may need some more. And again, that's what I educate people on. These are the types of purposes for insurance. Had you thought about this? Do you have enough? What's going to fit in your budget? And so I encourage, everyone to give me a call, and let's just take a look and see where you are, see if you have enough, see if you need some initially, and make sure you know who is going to be responsible for your policy when you die, and if you're responsible for other people, your parents, your grandparents, your children, if you got people depending on you or living with you. If something happens, it's much better than to do that than to have the stress and the frustration of you have to do a GoFundMe or some kind of fundraiser to pay for that, because it's only a certain amount of time that you have to have these funds available to start dealing with the funeral home, whether you're going to have something at the graveyard, that type of thing. It actually costs, say, in the instance, if a person dies in the home, it costs to have the body moved from the home to, the coroner's or the funeral home. It costs money to just move the body. So people don't think about those things, and they want the money then. So um, it's just something that it's just a part of life that we need to have. We have insurance for our cars, we have healthcare insurance, we have insurance sometimes for our cell phones. Are we not more important and valuable than a cell phone or car and things like that? We have insurance for our homes. We need insurance for our lives as well.
Exactly. So it sort of reminds me of when my father passed away right before Christmas many years ago. He was out in Pennsylvania, so we drove out there, and he did not have insurance. He was sending money to my sister for the time of his death. Luckily, there was enough money for his funeral and everything, so much so that our car broke down and there was just a little bit left over, enough to pay for our hotel bill. But that is not going to be everyone's case. That was a fortunate one in here, in his case. So he did not have insurance. So people, listen, there's a lot of things like Sherry's saying that we are not aware about once someone passes away. Have a conversation with her, talk to her, and find out, and let her help you.
Thank you, Bill.
So, on another note, how does your background in etiquette education help you navigate the sensitivity or emotional conversations around life and death planning?
Yes, absolutely. As you know me from other lines of business, so I am a certified etiquette consultant, and there are ways and proper ways of talking to people and helping people and planning for their life and death situations. And it plays a good part because although people may not want to talk about it, don't like to talk about it, it's definitely necessary. And so there are certain ways of doing things. It's a certain things you want to bring to the attention of, who's getting the policies, that type of thing. You might, for an example, you might want to think about there may be a parent getting a policy in their name of beneficiaries, and they may leave someone out that might feel some type of way if they're left out. Now, with beneficiaries, you can name what percentage of the claim you want to go to certain people. You may talk to the oldest or the most responsible one in the family, and I may not be the oldest person. It's like this amount is going to you because I want to make sure you get this, and this done, and then you get this amount um for you take care of the flowers or whatever. Or it may be a beneficiary where depending on whether they get some things together or not, they may not be the best person to put the money in their hands. You may want to just give them a certain percentage, but the responsible one to give them the percentage of it and make sure they know what's to be done with it. So but it's a delicate situation, so it's you want to be sensitive to explain that to the people, and you want to help them to understand how to be sensitive about explaining it to other people and that type of thing. So there are also insurance policies that you can get that have what's called living benefits. And so I educate people on that if they have some issues and they need to um, have some of the proceeds from that life insurance policy before they die. But again, that's all in being educated on what types of policies there are, and if there ones with living benefits and how to get those and get those set up, and just being empathetic to people and how they can get these, how they can set them up, how they can explain them to people. And again, I help set those up, family meetings or whatever, because I get intricately involved in helping and with the family. So they'll know that they have an agent, somebody looking out for their best interest and on their behalf. So definitely etiquette plays a part in how to handle things with these sensitive situations.
And so now let's pivot to another topic, trust. What role does trust play in your conversations? Because I'm sure that not everyone's just going to go through the yellow pages, pick a life insurance agent, and just go with them. So how do you build it with new clients or your community members to trust in you, Sherry?
Yeah, absolutely. So just one of the things you said, community. I'm very involved in events and different things in the community. I keep people's business, personal business, professional business. I keep it private. I don't tell people's business. I personal sensitive information. I'm very careful about protecting that. And I generally care about people, and I try to check on them, see, if there's anything going on in their lives. I express condolences. I speak to people and offer my help. And so I do those types of things, and then I visit with people, the homes, the events, church, that type of thing, and then just try to relate to people. And like I said, just keep their information protected, um, and not share those personal things. So um, just try to show my trust and love.
Well, thanks, Sherry. So finally, what's one simple thing a listener can do today to start thinking more intentionally about life insurance?
Yes. So Bill, one thing that a person can do to intentionally start thinking about life insurance is reach out to me, contact me My phone number is on my website. The website will be listed at the end of this podcast. But email me, call me, reach out to me, and so we can have a conversation. It doesn't cost anything to start having a conversation. Allow me to review what you either already have or help you get something put in place today. It's important to act now because, again, tomorrow's not promised to us. And when you do, everyone that reaches out to me, I will be giving them a family support planner so that they can start documenting what's needed, important things to do, things to think about. I just went over something with a family member of mine, what to do with my Facebook page when I die. There's actually Facebook has options of what you can choose. Do you want a family member to take over? Do you want them to delete or disable your Facebook page? Things we don't think about. Who to contact? What things to do? Do you have fraternity, sorority members that your family may not know of? Phone numbers, emails, family members, the family tree, who to reach out to, what songs you want sang at your, service, that type of thing. Do you have a good picture? It's so many times I've gone into families like we don't have a good picture of them to put on the obituary. Make sure those things are not extra burdens that a family has to worry about. But be intentional. Call me today, email me today, go on my website and fill out a contact form. And I want to put in your hands a planner, a family planner. So for end of life family planning planner where you can start documenting these things. So reach out to me, and that's free of charge to reach out to me, talk with me, and get your family planner for end of life for your final expense. And it's an act of love and kindness.
Well, thank you for that offer there, Sherry. I hope listeners, I hope you will take advantage of that. Contact Sherry and get that planner so you start planning today. I know we don't want to plan for our death, but it's better, as Sherry said, an act of love for the rest of your family and stuff if you have things planned out in advance.
Yes. So
So,
get your free family support planner. Reach out to me
so
today.
I got one question for you, Sherry. So with all the buzz nowadays about AI, do you use AI in your business at all?
Oh, yes. Yes, absolutely. But, you know, AI, the, assistant and artificial intelligence and that type of thing, cannot replace a person. A computer AI cannot come to your home and hold your hand when you're crying. AI cannot hand you a tissue when you're crying. Now, it's good for what it's good for. So I've actually created flyers, marketing material with AI. I've asked AI questions of what I can do or for advice on interview questions, ideas of what type of events to put together. It's a good knowledge database on helping to either jog your memory or give you some ideas, but it can't take the place of people. It can't uh, take the place of that empathetic ear, the sympathy. It can't take the place of giving you a hug. It can't take the place of a person, you know, that we can relate to. And sometimes that's what we need is someone to relate to us, talk to us, or listen to us talk. Let us cry on your shoulder. Like I said, hand you a Kleenex, a tissue, whatever brand it is, a tissue. Um, give you a hug, hand you a flower, hold your hand, or even assist with things. I go to people's homes and I assist. Hey, I see you got mail in the mailboxes, but you want to bring the mail in for you? Or you need me to take the trash out for you? AI can't do that. I see you having a hard, a client or someone may be recovering. They may, not be able to walk well or whatever. They may need me to run an errand for them. AI can't run an errand for you.
No, no, we don't.
My dog hasn't been fed, and that I can't. I can put the food in the. I'm a real person. AI can never replace me.
Right, right.
It helped
Well,
me in business, in marketing, and different things, but when it comes time to that personal touch, you want a real person. And a real person can't be replaced. I can't.
right.
My hugs can't be replaced.
And that's the way I view AI because it's a tool that you can use to help you, but it's not a replacement thing. Like even in my business, helping businesses to grow, it's a tool to help them. But you still have to have that interaction, you still have to have that communication, still need to have that conversation to get deep into the other person's mind. But for those who cannot afford 100, 200, 1,000 people to do things for them, AI is there, has tools to help them. But like you said, Sherry, there's always going to be that personal touch. That's always going to be there. So thank you for that.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And thank you again, Bill, for having me on your podcast, a guest. Again, I just may sign up to be a regular.
I know, I agree. So
Yes.
that's it for today's version of our podcast on the Buzz on Biz with Sherry Gordon Harris. So I just want to thank you for that and sharing that powerful perspective on life insurance education, Sherry. Her work reminds us that true service means meeting people where they are with compassion, cultural awareness, and clarity. If you're feeling more equipped or inspired to take control of your family's financial future, we hope today's episode gave you the tools to take that next step. So this is Buzz on Biz, where we highlight the local pros like Sherry Gordon Harris making a difference. So until next time, stay connected, stay informed, and support your local community. Thanks for tuning in to the Buzz on Biz podcast. We hope you enjoyed learning about another incredible local business making a difference. This podcast is brought to you by To Grow My Biz, where we help small businesses grow smarter using automation and AI. If you're a small business owner looking to save time, generate more leads, or stop losing leads, and want to serve your customers better, we're here to help. So visit togrowmybiz.com/call-bill to schedule a quick call and let's talk. Or you can check out our tools and services at togrowmybiz.com and our AI site, ai.togrowmybiz.com. We'd love to help you grow. Let's talk soon, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Buzz on Biz.